Hello everyone. Welcome back to the channel. I hope that you're enjoying this day that the Lord has made for us. And let's give him praise and acknowledge him. Thank you, Jesus, for another day. And so we are in John chapter 5. And it begins with, after this there was a feast of the Jews. After the second miracle, there was a feast of the Jews, and Jesus went up to Jerusalem. Now there is at Jerusalem by the sheep market a pool, which is called in Hebrew Tongue of Bethesda, having 5 porches. In these lay a great multitude of impotent folk, of blind, halt, meaning sick people or lame, withered, waiting for the moving of the water. For an angel went down at a certain season into the pool, or a certain time into the pool, and troubled the water. Whosoever then first, after the troubling of the water, stepped in was made whole of whosoever disease he had, or whatsoever disease he had. And a certain man was there which had an infirmity 38 years. 38 years. When Jesus saw him lie and knew that he had been now a long time in that case. He had been a long time in that condition. He saith unto him, Wilt thou be made whole? The impotent man answered him, Sir, I have no man when the water is troubled to put me into the pool. But while I am coming, another stepped down before me. Jesus said unto him, Rise, take up thy bed, and walk. And immediately the man was made whole, and took up his bed, and walked. And on the same day was the Sabbath. So in verse 10, the Jews therefore said unto him that was cured, It is the Sabbath. It is not lawful for thee to carry thy bed. He answered them, He that made me whole, the same said unto me, Take up thy bed and walk. Then asked them him, What man is that which said unto thee, Take up thy bed and walk? And he that was healed wist not who it was, for Jesus had conveyed himself away, a multitude being in that place. Afterward, Jesus findeth him in the temple, and said unto him, Behold, thou art whole, thou art made whole. Sin no more, lest a worse thing come unto thee. The man departed and told the Jews that it was Jesus which had made him whole. And therefore did the Jews persecute Jesus, and sought to slay him, because he had done these things on the Sabbath day. But Jesus answered them, My Father worketh hitherto, and I work. Therefore the Jews sought the more to kill him, because he not only had broken the Sabbath, but also that God was his Father, making himself equal with God. And so we're going to stop there. Jesus is going to have a lot of response for them, continuing on. But so they were mad that in their eyes he broke the rule of the Sabbath, which is to do no work. It's a rest day. But he's saying to them my Father worketh here too, and I work. And so, therefore, they got even mad instead of understanding what he had just said. And they sought to kill him because he was making himself equal with the Father. And so, the man that was made whole, he didn't know who it was. He just followed instructions. He said, get up, take up that bed and walk. And so he got up and did that. And so when they approached him, the Jews, they asked him why he was carrying his why he was violating the law of Sabbath, basically. And he was saying, the man, I did what the man said, because he was there 38 years without healing and trying to get in this water for somebody else got into this water. Or whether he was there every day of the 38 years, who knows. But the point of him dealing with this infirmity for 38 years and wanting to be cured, because he knew that when the angel came, when the water was troubled, whether they seen the angel or they didn't, but they knew the troubling of that water, the first one in was healed. And he was unable to get help, and he couldn't move fast enough to accomplish this goal. And so Jesus, knowing that this man was there and knowing of this man, came to perform a miracle. And so this is the third miracle that he performed. And so with that being said, I hope that you've learned something. I most certainly have, and continue to be encouraged, and continue to read. Until next time, God willing.